A young boy named Yuri inherits his family's mansion after his parents pass away, but he is unable to pay for servants. He makes an attempt to run the mansion by himself, but fails miserably. He is suspicious when a maid named Lilith shows up, and he is even more so when she offers to work for no pay. Her serious demeanor and her intense purple eyes persuade Yuri. Yuri, who is excellent at her job, is only making herself more wary of her, constantly keeping an eye on her, and having trouble falling asleep because of her. Although Lilith is aware of his suspicion, she appears amused by it and even teases him. However, when Yuri unintentionally admits he finds her attractive, Lilith becomes agitated. He demands to know her intentions because he thinks she is a magician, but she insists on keeping them a secret, which only makes Yuri more uneasy. At midnight, Yuri discovers her awake in the kitchen and accuses her of seducing him with a love potion, when in fact she was just learning to prepare his favorite meals. When Lilith uses his name as if they were married, Yuri becomes suspicious and asks her to stop until they get to know each other better. Lilith is seen to have a picture of Yuri, and in a flashback, she is seen receiving a letter soon after Yuri's parents passed away, prompting her to head straight for the mansion to serve as his maid. Yuri feels that Lilith is trying to win his affection because she buys him gifts, so he embarrasses her by promising to win her over instead. He becomes suspicious when Lilith vanishes until he discovers her interacting with a stray cat. Yuri admits that he dislikes cats but wants to get over this phobia. Another cat that is more aggressive appears while Lilith is gone. After Yuri drives it away, the stray cat befriends him. When Yuri pets Lilith, Lilith becomes embarrassed because she can see that Yuri is visibly envious of her petting the cat. Yuri begins to draw morning glory flowers but holds off on showing Lilith until it is finished. He asks to learn to cook, thinking Lilith's excellent cooking is the result of a love potion, making her feel humiliated by his praise of her cooking and his proposal of marriage. When Lilith claims that the food she cooks contains her love, which he interprets to mean love potion, Yuri notices that the food he prepared tastes different and misunderstands when she says that is why. Later, Lilith discovers the morning glory sketch in which Yuri contrasts the beauty of the flowers with that of her eyes. Yuri is interested in learning what Lilith does after he goes to sleep, but he drifts off before he can. It is revealed that Lilith watches him sleep by waiting until he nods off. Yuri remarks that Lilith fussing over him reminds him of his mother fussing over his father. Tsukasa, a student, hopes that she can assist Yuri at school after his extended absence. Without Yuri to look after, Lilith is bored. Although he tries, Tsukasa is too tense to speak to Yuri. Lilith shows up to pick him up after school despite his orders not to. Tsukasa notices them together and is immediately suspicious of their relationship. This suspicion is heightened when she overhears Yuri casually discussing Lilith's beauty. To her delight, she believes they are both involved in a taboo relationship. Fujisaki, Tsukasa's butler, shows up and recognizes Lilith. Tsukasa is urged to keep being a good friend to Yuri by Lilith. Yuri takes advantage of the opportunity to indulge in unhealthy snacks and light novels when she discovers Lilith has left later. Lilith stays out late, determined to find a specific fish for Yuri's dinner, but she can't find it anywhere. Although she misses the last train, a passing Fujisaki who is suspicious of Lilith's return to the city but keeps quiet is able to drive her home. Yuri accuses Lilith of causing him to miss her when she is gone after she discovers him sobbing from being alone for such a long time. She acknowledges that she bewitched him, but she also gives him props for adjusting to life without her. Lilith frets Yuri is growing more wary of her because he thinks her love magic is the cause of his attraction to her. Lilith employs a number of strategies to appear trustworthy while he constantly observes her, but each one only serves to heighten his attraction and suspicion. Yuri acknowledges he used to play chess with his father and recalls his mother trying to make a pudding while they played, but refuses Lilith's suggestion that they play the game. He is pleased that Lilith offers to play chess with him whenever he wants. The following day, Yuri comes home from school unhappy. Lilith decides to cheer him up by making pudding, but she is shocked when he accepts it without question. She is actually concerned by his lack of suspicion and wonders if she should deliberately portray suspicion. Yuri tells her that his school is hosting an open house but is concerned that because she is so wary, other people might find her as attractive as he does. Yuri's continued suspicion of Lilith makes her happy, and she resolves to go. Yuri is disappointed that Lilith does not arrive with her other parents, but delighted when she does so dressed as a male butler, thanks to a loan from Fujisaki. Lilith hopes they were able to get closer as Yuri thanks her for coming. Yuri invites Lilith to his practice session so she can see him compete in the sports festival. Tsukasa keeps tabs on them. Fujisaki tries to divert Tsukasa away from Yuri by appearing cute herself out of fear that she might turn into a stalker. Yuri is exhausted from Lilith's assistance with his practice, so when she offers to massage him, he immediately expresses suspicion due to her skill. When Fujisaki offers to go to the festival because Tsukasa's parents are unable to, she doesn't realize how duplicitous Tsukasa has been until it's too late. Yuri is especially competitive on the festival day, and Tsukasa thinks he's doing it to win over Lilith. Then, Tsukasa is shocked when Lilith says that Yuri will get a reward if he wins, leading her to believe that their once taboo relationship has now become sexual. Lilith's appearance in the open, where everyone can see her, is criticized by Fujisaki. Yuri's revelation that Lilith must take part in the parents' obstacle race surprises her, but when he supports her, she takes first place. He asserts that Lilith is his priceless family in response to his classmates' complaints that a maid does not qualify as a parent. Though this makes Yuri suspect she is using magic to make him feel things again, Lilith is embarrassed as he describes his feelings because he makes her sound more like a girlfriend than a parent. When Yuri is caught in the rain, Lilith jokingly asks him to take a bath with her. She is shocked when he says they can't because they aren't married yet. Yuri confirms that Lilith developed a fever after the rain and starts acting strangely. Lilith laments her ineffectiveness as a maid, but Yuri urges her to concentrate on getting better. When Yuri begins assisting Lilith with household duties and expresses a desire to spend more time with her, Lilith is confused. Yuri accepts Tsukasa's invitation to her Halloween party, and he chooses to dress as a sorcerer. As Yuri didn't notice, Lilith is relieved that she accidentally revealed she had previously worked at another mansion. Yuri forces her to dress up in a costume as a dragon girl maid, which drives Tsukasa insane with romantic fantasies once more. When Tsukasa makes Fujisaki dress in a princess outfit for a photo shoot, she feels humiliated. Lilith starts getting letters in the mail the following day. The more Lilith tries to conceal the letters, the more suspicious Yuri becomes of her again. She reveals that in reality, she had been evading her former employer, who has now discovered her and ordered her to return. Yuri won't let her go because he is still under her shady magic spell and she is only his maid. Yuri gives Lilith her first hug as Lilith throws the letters away. Yuri can't stop thinking about Lilith. Tsukasa informs him that he is in love after realizing his ignorance. Lilith worries when Yuri ignores her despite her suggestive teasing. Nearly asking her about love, Yuri decides to ask Tsukasa instead. Despite Tsukasa's insistence that Lilith is happiest with Yuri, Yuri worries that Lilith might leave one day. Tsukasa offers him her romance light novels to read as an explanation of love, but Fujisaki takes them away before Yuri can become corrupted. Lilith is again confused when Yuri resumes her normal behavior. Lilith initially worries that Yuri intends to draw her naked when he decides to draw her during art class, in order to reveal her true nature. Yuri struggles to fall asleep because he is repeatedly dissatisfied with his drawings. He confesses to Lilith his confusion and worries that he doesn't know anything about the real her as he tries to fall asleep. He is put to sleep by Lilith using a lullaby that his mother once sang. Yuri wakes up feeling rested but cannot recall their conversation. Since he slept so well, he insists Lilith sleep next to him once more, despite Lilith's concerns that she might also experience sleep deprivation. Despite not being completed to Yuri's satisfaction, the drawing receives a prize in art class. When Lilith dresses up for an outing, Yuri becomes suspicious and worries that she is on a date. Lilith runs into Fujisaki at a cafe and recalls that while they were both delinquents in school, Fujisaki abruptly changed after graduating. Now Lilith understands that meeting Tsukasa was the catalyst for the change. She hopes that one day she and Yuri will be that close. As Fujisaki points out, Lilith is unsure how to open her heart to Yuri if she wants him to do so. She is confronted by Yuri, who had been following her, as soon as she gets back home. He recalled that when he was younger, his parents had brought a lonely, unapproachable girl into the house after overhearing her and Fujisaki talking. He now realizes that it was Lilith who had frequently lulled him to sleep while his mother was away. Yuri decides he needs to remember everything on his own even though Lilith wants to tell him everything. Tsukasa believes Yuri and Lilith have advanced after observing Yuri's altered behavior. Yuri learns from her response that he wasn't being suspicious of Lilith the entire time, he was actually falling for her. He dashes home and tells Lilith he loves her right away. Another maid named Natsum confronts them both before she can respond. She has been looking for Lilith and demands that she return with her right away. Natsum and Lilith, according to Lilith, worked as maids for the same employer. Natsum is dismayed that Lilith serves a child and decides that Yuri is an inappropriate master because of his lack of wealth and educational background, despite the fact that everything he does seems to impress Lilith. Natsum is confronted by Lilith for being fixated on her and told to respect Lilith's decision to remain with Yuri. Yuri has recently become aware of his own feelings for Lilith and believes Natsum feels the same way. Eventually, Natsum confesses her love for Lilith. Lilith resumes her responsibilities as Yuri goes back to school. Despite being unable to make sense of how Yuri and Lilith behave around one another, Natsum refuses to accept that Lilith is content serving Yuri. Natsum burns food, ruins the laundry, and makes more of a mess than she is able to clean, proving to Yuri that she is not a maid like Lilith. Lilith actually gets sentimental because Natsum used to always make mistakes that Lilith would end up correcting for her. Later, while bathing together, Lilith is actually relieved Natsum is there as she has no idea how to respond to Yuri's earlier declaration of love. Although she reluctantly acknowledges that Yuri is a good master and that it is obvious that he makes Lilith happy, Natsum decides that Lilith must come to understand this for herself. Natsum is thrilled when Yuri informs Tsukasa that she has a rival for Lilith's affection. When Natsum arrives to pick up Yuri from school, she runs away when she sees Fujisaki. Natsum wants to buy a present for Lilith before she leaves because Christmas is almost here. Yuri is bullied by older boys, but Natsum saves him, and she is proud of him for standing up to them. Yuri tells Lilith he will be spending Christmas with Tsukasa after Natsum asks him for assistance in organizing a surprise party for Lilith. This clearly disappoints her. Natsum then extends an invitation to Lilith for Christmas so that Yuri, Tsukasa, and Fujisaki can make a cake and decorate the house. Natsum finds it difficult to talk to Lilith, but they have fun anyway. Natsum asks Lilith to write letters to her after she departs, and Lilith gives Natsum a pen as a gift along with some hair accessories. When Natsum gets back to the mansion, she is surprised because Yuri had planned with Lilith to throw Natsum a party instead. The celebration is a success, and after Tsukasa leaves for home and Natsum nods off, Yuri leaves her Christmas present, a pair of woolen mittens that Lilith taught him to knit, for him. The previous boss of Lilith appears. Natsum confesses to Yuri that he gave her the self-assurance she needed to tell her love to their master. Lilith is enjoying working for Yuri, which pleases Master. Lilith reveals that her parents mysteriously disappeared when she was a young child. She made the decision to become a maid in order to spend the rest of her life paying back Yuri's parents, who were friends with her parents and took her in. Unfortunately, Yuri's parents passed away while she was training at Master's mansion, so she left right away to care for Yuri. Yuri worries that Lilith is leaving, but Master reassures him that he is only there to pick up Natsum and that Lilith will remain by his side. It feels awkward when Master and Natsum depart because Yuri and Lilith haven't been by themselves in a while. Yuri asks Lilith if she wants to go somewhere, and she says yes, when he clarifies that it's a date. While in town, Tsukasa spots their date, but Fujisaki prevents him from pursuing them. Lilith finally musters the courage to inquire about Yuri's feelings for her when the two of them visit the Christmas lights. Yuri acknowledges that he is unsure right now, but they both look forward to sticking around to find out. When it snows the following day, Yuri and Lilith make snowmen of each other. However, Lilith feels humiliated when Yuri adds 6 additional snow children next to them.